I do hate me some Justin Trudeau, and it's been actually a little weird lately. It hasn't been since the beginning of the year, since we've talked about Canada so recently, at least in back-to-back videos, okay? There's only so much idiocy I can really take when it comes to Canada. Unfortunate that I still live here, so if anybody, okay, especially any of those quote-unquote celebrities that are down there that still hate the fact that you guys celebrate that outdated Independence Day when there's so many problems that are going on in the current day, I just want to leave the country. I'll switch with you at a moment's notice, goddammit. Even if it would be going down to California, anything is better than this socialistic hellhole that is going on right now in Canada, alright? Trudeau says he will fight to ensure all Quebecers have the same rights as everybody else across the country. Fuck are you talking about? Okay, what rights don't Quebecers have to begin with? Okay, and the fact of the matter is, if it wasn't for Quebec being a province in our loose union up here in Canada, okay, we wouldn't have to have everything double printed on all of the packaging that's out there to include the French on there, okay? It wouldn't be a bilingual, okay, instituting multiculturalism, okay, making sure that segregation is written down in our version of the Constitution. He's doing the exact same thing he did when he first came into office in 2015, right? You were aware of what he was doing way back then, okay? For the most part, everybody was just getting along. Stephen Harper was just running the country. Everything was going fucking fine, okay? And then he came in, okay, because you had the likes of some of those stupid influencers out there right now. I can think of one stupid specific fucking blonde who's decided to wrap herself in the American flag and, oh, I'm all about freedom and liberty, you know, I've got all the right ideas right now. I seem to remember you pushing real hard the fact that we just need to get rid of Stephen Harper because it's out with the old and in with the new. You helped usher this along, you stupid cunt, and I won't fucking forget it. But no, Trudeau came in and he just decided, what worked really well about the Obama administration? Stoking racial divisions. Well, we don't have that many blacks up here in Canada, so how am I going to be going about this? Oh, right, we can just go ahead and reignite that whole Native and Canadian divide, okay? Even though everybody was basically getting the fuck along, okay? He just decided to go on this big old apology tour across the country and then just start to stoke all of those racial tensions that are there in order to get everybody fighting so that he'd just reign as king for all of the fucking eternity. And now, because that's just basically done and dusted, okay? Oh, those residential schools with all of those mass graves that are underneath. Guess how many bodies they actually found? That many. Yeah, no, exactly. Oh, but there's so many mass graves. How many bodies? Bodies. Can you quantify any of that stuff? A lot of graves. Not a lot of evidence. But anyways, now it's all about Quebecers against the rest of the country. Because that one, okay, that conflict between French Canada and the rest of Canada, that one's been hot in more recent times compared to the whole Native and Canadian debate. That was all pretty much settled. I live within a stone's throw of like 15 different fucking reserves, if we're being completely honest. So we all deal with each other appropriately. It's not that big of a deal. But when it comes to French Canadians and dealing with regular Canadians, they think because stupid French is enshrined as the second official language that's out there, okay, they think that they just have this air of superiority, except for you go around Grand Prairie, and I know it's kind of funny considering the fact that it's, yes, big land, okay, in French, and that's a very important, and there's a bunch of different French settlements in the area here. They just have an air of, arrogance that's just kind of around them in general. And hearing the stories about what goes on within Quebec, like, it wouldn't be that big of an issue really if North Korea was like testing their nukes and decided to just drop it in like Quebec City or something like that where all the radicals are at. But anything like that, like, thanks for Poutine and thanks for the Habs. But outside of that, Quebec's a fucking useless money sink, okay? So then, yeah, you got shit dick here just trying to stoke up all of those tensions once again because, oh, there's not, you know, like a whole bunch of conflict going on in the country right now and I need to do some fuck shit. So let's just go ahead and throw this smokescreen out there because he's not about creating any sort of peace or any sort of unity in the country. This is the most divisive motherfucker that I've ever seen in elected office in my lifetime, okay? Sure, he doesn't have the flamboyant speech. He does, kind of in a different way than at least the divisive guttural instinct that you get from the likes of a Trump or anything like that. But this dude is super fucking divisive, okay? East and West tensions haven't been like this for a very, very, very fucking long time. It's all because, oh, he's just so cute and his hair is so nice. Yeah, well, take a look at a picture of Justin Trudeau from 2015 as opposed to 2022, and it looks like, while everybody else is pinching pennies, somebody looks like he's been eating pretty good over the past 7 years. Anyways, during question period in the House of Commons on June 1st, things got heated between Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Bloc Québécois MP Alain Tyrants as they debated Quebec's Bill 21. During the back and forth, Trudeau took aim at the idea that anyone who opposes the bill is somehow not a real Quebecer. What the fuck? Okay, reminding everyone that he hails from the La Belle Province. Yesterday, the Prime Minister stated that he wants to challenge Quebec's legislation on a secular nature of the state. Tyrants began attacking the idea that it will have broad implications for Canadians across the country. It only concerns Quebecers. Tyrants continued, then why is it going on in the fucking House of Commons at a federal level? The law on secularization is a request from Quebecers, a law that was voted on by the members of the National Assembly of Quebec. Yeah, it's so fucked. Would have been so much better if they would have left during one of their fucking referendums. Only a couple more people would have turned out to vote. We wouldn't be having this problem. And boy, the world would look a whole lot different than it does right now. I'm certain, Canadians have nothing to do with it, and it's none of their business. What is so hard for the Prime Minister to understand about that? And again, why do we have a federally recognized party that only campaigns and only has seats within the confines of one fucking province, represented at the federal government level? It makes zero fucking sense. That's Quebec for you. I'm certain that I didn't hear that properly, Trudeau responded. I'm certain that the honorable member is just talking down to him because he's a fucking arrogant prick. The honorable member didn't want to suggest that all of those who disagree or challenge this before the courts in Quebec are not real Quebecers. We will always be there with anyone across the country who wants to defend their What? Oh, this motherfucker, my guy. He actually said this. We will always be there with anyone across this country who wants to defend their fundamental rights protected under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. That's all I need to read. Moving along. The RCMP admits to remotely turning on phones, cameras, mics of criminal suspects. I guess that's not in the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Oh, okay, cool. The RCMP has admitted for the first time that it has been using spyware to infiltrate the cell phones of Canadians, including to remotely turn on their camera and microphone, the suspects' phones and laptops. The RCMP says the tools were not only used in serious cases when other unintrusive measures were not successful. I'm sure I totally believe that. No, just when we were arresting people with murders or whenever we're bored. This is the first time the RCMP had ever acknowledged that it has this ability. Of course they do. Fucking, what did you think? Okay, those admissions of Edward Snowden in, the mid-2010s? Okay, about what the NSA were doing in the United States. You didn't think that applied to every other government across the world? Okay, that's exactly what they were doing. Okay, and the fact that they admitted it just means that they have far more sophisticated tech that's out there, which uses malware to intrude on phones and devices despite having that technology for years and using it in 10 investigations, just 10 that we know about, between 18 and 20, reports Politico. A senior research associate at the University of Toronto's Citizen Lab said that this is the kind of capability that they've had done everything possible to keep incredibly quiet. Yes, so why come out and say anything about it right now? Because it is probably even worse than we think, okay? It is a remarkable finding, and for the first time, publicly reveals that the RCMP is using spyware to infiltrate mobile devices, as well as a broad capability of their spyware, he continued. The RCMP said that the increasing popularity of end-to-end encrypted apps means that the police need new techniques to catch criminals. Exactly. It's all for your safety, guys. The RCMP admitted to their spying on Canadians in a document in the House of Commons after the questions from Conservative MP on the government's programs gathering data from Canadians, just like the vaccine passport gimmick, which is still around there. And don't worry, it's only going to get worse. But let's just go back and remember what Trudeau was saying. there will always be, and we will always be, with anyone across the country who wants to defend their fundamental rights protected under the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, okay? And then, I hate him so much, and I hate that picture right there. And we're just going to use this for the headline because, of course, and Trudeau thinks bodily autonomy allows women to murder their own babies, but not make their own vax decisions. Remember, that's what he's all about. We're here to ensure the different rights enshrined by the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, right? The right to life, unless, of course, the woman carrying the child all the way up until birth just decides that, yeah, she doesn't want to be a mother anymore and just fucking takes care of that, right? Gets it sucked out and thrown into a garbage can behind the whatever the Canadian equivalent of Planned Parenthood is. Maybe it is Planned Parenthood. I don't know. I don't squirt recklessly. What do I say? Right? Every Canadian has a right to bodily autonomy. At least the women. Or the birthing people. I don't want to be, hey, I don't want to be the big non-inclusive, right? So what do they mean about their own vax decisions? Well, because we're getting updated definitions, dudes, because that whole fully vaccinated thing, that's yesterday's news, right? How are we supposed to know what fully vaccinated is anymore? You're just going to have to go out there and you're going to have to get the poke every 9 months because fully vaccinated, no. Now it's just going to be up to date. Yeah, this shit's never gonna fucking end now, is it? That's why I want to leave so bad. And it's always people like this, okay? It's people that look creepy like this who have no specific interest in really helping the country, okay? It's all about controlling the country. Ah, boy. Health Minister Jean-Yves Duclos. Again, it's just Frenchmen and women in this fucking cabinet, okay? And that's supposed to represent the country, right? Just people that were elected in Toronto and Montreal and in a couple of other little fucking enclaves at the big cities out there. That represents the country, right? Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable. Updated Canadians on what it means to have up-to-date vaccination status and urged Canadians who have already been boosted twice to receive a third booster. Of course, because that means that they work, where you have to continue to get your fucking top up, right? Yeah, no, exactly. If they worked so well, wouldn't all this shit be over by now? Just wondering. What exactly do we mean by up-to-date vaccination? Let me be very clear. And then he'll go on and not be clear about any of this. Up-to-date means you've received your last dose within 9 months. Why 9 months? Why did you come to that decision? If you've already received a first booster, that's great. And please see if you're eligible for a second or third booster to remain up-to-date. Cool. Can you imagine listening to the government in today's day and age? Whatever, Duclops. That's what I'm calling them. I'm not learning French. Fuck off. They urge those who have not gotten their boosters to do so. Why don't you fucking take this booster and shove it in your ass? Saying that their efficacy has waned. Oh, of course. No, you were supposed to be completely good. I remember at the beginning when you were all saying it was basically just put an extra... All you need to do is just get fully vaccinated. It's just going to make you more financially solvent. You'll just wake up and have an extra $100,000 in your bank account, and your dick will grow an extra 6 inches, or your tits will get bigger. Whatever the fuck you want, really. It'll just make your hair grow back. Don't worry, they're just magical, okay? But now their efficacy is waning. Wow, it's almost like we have more information about what's happening off the back of these boosters, or off of these shots, right? The longer they're at market, okay, the more we know about this stuff, and the more horrified we are about the findings. But we can't get too far into those weeds, right? Because it's all about keeping people safe, not informed, just safe, right? Fuck Canada. I hate this place. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone, except for the Liberal government. Get fucked.